on CTV3 News. Broad daylight murder in the old capital. CCTV footage captures when Scrubby's killer approaches him and takes his life execution style. Belize Defense Force dismisses 20 to 30 soldiers in disgrace over serious breaches, citing alcohol and disciplinary violations. Prime Minister John Briceño confirms early preparations for 2027 municipal elections, aiming to strengthen party's national role. And in honor of Women's Month, we shine the spotlight on the vital role women play within the law enforcement. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Thursday, March 5th, 2026.
From whiskeys and wines to elegantly crafted cocktails. Paired with charcuterie boards and perfectly seasoned steak bites, and much more. Perfect for celebrations, quiet nights, and every special occasion in between. 7 Notes Wine and Spirits, where every sip hits the right note.
ExpressNet now has up to 400 megabytes of high-speed internet. Choose the speed that fits you. From faster browsing to faster gaming. Connect more devices at once. Or bundle it with Express Plus and HBO Max. Internet and streaming entertainment, all in one.
Yeah, faster starts here.
Sign up today at any Centaur office or contact us to get started.
They got so much things to say right now. They got so much things to say.
The way some people are talking you'd never know, but the most blatant nepotism and fleecing of BTL took place under UDP when Dean Barrow was Prime Minister. Barrow placed his son Anwar on BTL's board in 2009 as soon as he nationalized the company, which would eventually cost Belizeans almost $650 million for shares barely worth $200 million. By 2014, Anwar was appointed executive chairman with extravagant salary and perks. Under him, BTL spent wildly on ventures that did not materialize and never brought any returns. Under the Barrows, BTL's profits plummeted from $38 million in 2009 to $17 million in 2019, and $10 million in 2020, as the company hardly paid dividends to government and people of Belize. Anwar Barrow has no moral authority to talk about BTL, as it was under his nepotistic rule, appointed by his father, that BTL was most blatantly fleeced.
They got so much things to say right now. They got so much things to say.
We recently formed MOUs with the American Hotel and Lodging Education Institute, which is the education arm of the American Hotel and Lodging Association, and also with the American Culinary Federation to do culinary training. We're here to celebrate our accomplishments. And this is not about replacing Belizean cuisine. This is about, we want the Belizean cuisine, we want the Belizean richness and diversity, right? So this is about your skills. You all know what you all learned, so it's about transferring that skill.
We want to inspire this career because, you know, it's amazing. You love what you do, right? And it really is something that I think we can inspire other young Belizeans to undertake. And it's now part of your responsibility as those who have received this training and see a pathway for greater things.
Just to put it into perspective, there's only about 6,000 certified executive chefs in North America. There is only 69 certified master chefs in the world. There is less than 10 certified executive pastry chefs in this entire world. And now in Belize, we have 3 sitting in this room.
When speed matters, Get ahead with ExpressNet. Fast, reliable, ready when you are.
Good evening with your news also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. Police have taken a man into custody in connection with the tragic death of 26-year-old Edward Saldano, popularly known as Scrubby of Amara Avenue, who was shot and killed Thursday afternoon near the intersection of Amara Avenue and Dean Street in Belize City. The incident unfolded around midday when officers responded to reports of gunfire at the scene. Upon arrival, they discovered multiple spent shells and blood stains, indicating a violent confrontation. CCTV footage of the attack reveals Saldado riding his bicycle when an individual approached from across the street. A struggle ensued, causing Saldano to fall to the ground. The assailant then opened fire, launching at least 5 shots aimed at his body and head before fleeing the scene in Amara Avenue, Belize City.
What the investigation has so far disclosed is that Mr. Saldano was walking on Dean Street when it is that he was accosted by a male person who is believed to have been known by him, and a dispute arose, and the male person, and this was captured on police camera, was seen retrieving a firearm which he used to fire several shots, which resulted in the demise of Mr. Saldano. One male person has since been detained in the course of this ongoing investigation.
We know that Mr. Saldano, he is known to police and whatnot, and known to us, of course. Our police, can we say that it is gang related? Is that the motive?
No clear motive has been established as yet.
Can you say if the individual arrested is from the same area, that general vicinity, or from a different part of the city?
I have not been able to confirm the area that person comes from, but what I can say, he was detained in that general area there.
The victim was rushed to the Carl Houston Memorial Hospital where he was pronounced dead. The suspect was later apprehended in the vicinity of the shooting. Saldana was no stranger to law enforcement, with prior charges including a robbery case scheduled for 2024. The investigation continues as authorities seek to piece together the circumstances surrounding this fatal shooting. The Belize Police Department says an investigation has been launched into an incident involving a resident from Western Belize who claims he was shot by a police officer earlier this week. As we told you on Wednesday, Akeem Jones publicly alleged that an officer shot him without cause during an encounter. Jones, who is from Roaring Creek, has since raised concerns about the circumstances surrounding the incident. However, police officials say that up to this point, Jones has not made an official statement to investigators regarding the matter. Despite this, the department confirmed that an internal investigation is already underway to determine exactly what transpired during the confrontation. Police say the goal of the investigation is to establish the full facts of the case and determine whether the actions taken during the encounter were justified under the circumstances. Further updates are expected as the investigation progresses. With the next municipal election scheduled for 2027, Prime Minister John Briceño says his party has already begun preparations to ensure it remains competitive across the country. Speaking on those preparations today, the Prime Minister explained that the party is actively working with teams in municipalities nationwide, focusing on strengthening its political machinery ahead of the upcoming polls.
Well, unlike what Mr. Price used to like say that elections are won on election day, elections are not won on election. Well, unlike what Mr. Price used to like say that elections are won on election day, elections are not won on election day. On election day, you have you have your team ready to take out your voters, but elections are won before them, and that's depending on the kind of work that you have done. I think if you look across the length and breadth of this country, that we have done tremendous work in the entire country, and especially in the municipal municipalities that we've been working with the mayors, we've been working with infrastructure, putting on more streets, more drains, opening up new areas, expanding water, expanding electricity, building new parks, providing more financial support to our municipalities. So I feel I'm fairly confident that when that time comes that we would be able to do very well.
Prime Minister noted that while Orange Walker has traditionally been a stronghold for the party, there is also recognition that introducing new faces can bring fresh ideas and renewed energy to local governance.
Well, in Orange Walk, we're not there yet. The steering committee had its first meeting, I think about 2 weeks ago, and we started to talk about the composition. I think Orange Walk Town has been one of the most successful town councils or municipal councils in the entire country. But it's always good to be able to bring new blood from time to time. So we're taking a look at it, and we hope to have our slate ready sometime by June, July, August at the very latest.
The PM also addressed the party's strategy in San Ignacio, where the opposition, United Democratic Party, has maintained control of the municipal council for several terms.
I don't think that's for me to decide. I think it's for the people, the committees in San Ignacio, Santa Elena, to be able to decide who they think is the best candidate that can win. But the most important thing, though, is that whatever candidate we will put, that we need to make sure that that we unite as a party and to give that person the full support to ensure that we win. I do believe that with a good candidate and that we being united, but fully united and working hard every day, I believe we stand a chance of winning that municipality.
Minister of Infrastructure Development and Housing Julius Espat today weighed in on the ongoing dispute surrounding severance payments for former employees of Belize Telemedia Limited, BTL, and the Belize Communications Workers for Justice, offering a direct message on the matter: pay the workers what they are owed. Speaking with the media, Espat indicated that the issue should be resolved fairly and without unnecessary delay, emphasizing that workers who have given years of service deserve to receive their rightful compensation.
Pay them everything we owe them. It's for them, man. If you made the work for so long and not get paid, you may happy? No. Exactly. So pay them. Prime Minister has said to pay them. Prime Minister has said in cabinet to pay them. Pay them.
Also commenting on the paused negotiations regarding the acquisition discussions involving the telecommunications sector, the minister noted that consultations are necessary before any final decisions are made, stressing that public input is important since taxpayer funds are involved.
And we are here to manage and to spend the people's money. So we have to go back to the people when we spend that money in debates in the House, in presentations, in the budget, to ask if they're fine with it. And I think now they're starting to do that. The consultation is ongoing, they're consulting. That's a process that you have to have. And I was not in agreement that any manager of any company that the people own can say that they don't have to consult with the people. That is my objection to what was said.
And as a business owner, do your decisions made at the board level, is it influenced by any external factors?
No, you can't compare private business with public. In private, I make the decision, kind of my money, and if I fail, I fail. Now, if I am a private company that is owned by shareholders, then I have to listen to my shareholders. But in this case, who are the shareholders? All right, so you have to listen to the people. It's basic logic. No matter when I tell about legally right and morally right and ethically right, you could get wrong legally, but ethically and morally, you can't get around it. The people own it.
Over the past year, between 20 and 30 members of the Belize Defense Force, BDF, have been dismissed in disgrace following serious breaches of military regulations. The soldiers, who ranked ranges from sergeant to private, face severe consequences for their actions as part of disciplinary measures. The term dismissal with disgrace is one of the most severe penalties within the BDF, effectively stripping soldiers of their benefits and preventing them from rejoining the force in the future. Brigadier General Anthony Velasquez, the commander of the BDF, clarified the reasoning behind these dismissals.
And when members break the rules, they either get punished administratively, either they are punished and returned back to the ranks, or if what they committed was grave enough, they get discharged. And discharging with disgrace means that they get no benefits and they're not allowed to re-enlist into the BDF whatsoever. Being discharged with disgrace encompasses many different charges, different actions that they committed. Alcohol abuse is probably one of them, definitely. This is Women Month, so these allegations that were happening in the past constantly are one of them. Reasons why people will get discharged. Soldiers will get discharged for various reasons, for failing to show up on a duty or causing the loss of a life or the loss of a weapon. So there's various reasons why a soldier will get discharged, including alcohol.
Consumption being one of the contribution factors of these dismissals, Velasquez says certain steps have been taken to minimize the cases.
I would say that, yes, as part of society, we do have a problem with alcohol abuse. However, I would say that that problem has been minimized significantly over the past 2 years.
What resources do you provide for officers who may want to turn to alcohol?
First thing, we have dictated that, let me just tell you systematically what we have done, right? We do not support alcohol being as part of a sponsored event anymore. So if the Belize Defense Force, if the soldiers are having a rest and recreation activity, we do not actively give them alcohol. They will have to buy their own alcohol if they want that. Only in big events do we actually sponsor alcohol. Secondly, we have the Belisario camp and the Piawada camp and the Isles camp, where alcohol is not to be sold at all, right? So that's what we do systematically. Secondly, in dealing with alcohol addiction, we have our wellness department. We have a psychologist on staff who's a major in the Belize Defense Force, and we have a counselor who's a trained counselor who's a major in the Belize Defense Force as well, along with a nice staff where we deal with these issues. So any soldier who feels that they have a problem or who we identify has a problem, they can anonymously come into the wellness department and get the treatment or the attention they deserve.
The Belize Defense Force maintains that such disciplinary actions are essential to preserving the integrity and professionalism of their ranks, ensuring the force remains disciplined and trustworthy. Coming up next, we take you to the West for the official inauguration of the new building for Our Lady of Fatima RC School. Stay tuned.
The Orange Walk Town Council is inviting applications from suitably qualified and motivated individuals to fill 5 garbage fee collector positions within our revenue department. Minimum requirements: high school diploma, friendly and people-oriented personality, tech-savvy, must own reliable transportation, preferably a motorcycle, honest and dependable. Interested applicants are asked to submit the following documents: application letter, copy of high school diploma, valid social security card, 2 character references. Applications must be submitted in person to the Orange Walk Town Council office by February 20th, 2026. Join our team and contribute to keeping Orange Walk clean and organized.
From whiskeys and wines to elegantly crafted cocktails. Paired with charcuterie boards and perfectly seasoned steak bites, and much more. Perfect for celebrations, quiet nights, and every special occasion in between. 7 Notes Wine and Spirits, where every sip hits the right note.
The Civil Registry Department and Vital Statistics Unit provides comprehensive information services to assist citizens in obtaining official documentation related to key life events. You can apply for birth, death, marriage, adoption, or deed poll certificates for records that have already been registered. You can also request tailored information extracts or certified copies of documents about specific life events. All Vital Statistics information services are available through the new Civil Registry and Vital Statistics System, CRVS. You can complete all services online from the comfort of your own home, or if you prefer face-to-face interaction or need additional support, you can visit their nearest office to complete any service. The new CRVS, digitally connecting citizens to all vital statistics services. Visit crvs.gov.bz today to access our services.
There's a saying I often return to, and that is a Chinese saying, that says, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Today, Belize chooses now, because Belize has always lived under the shade of the tree. Remember Sobumbra floreo. Our forests, mangroves, rivers, and farms are not just features of our landscape, they are part of who we are as a people. They protect us from storms, feed our families, support livelihoods, and anchor our resilience in a changing climate. But we also know this truth. What we do not protect, we will eventually lose.
Greening Belize, 1 million trees for climate and sustainable development. Our forest cover is declining, especially after the fire season. What will be achieved? Restore and reforested lands, significant increase in hectares restored by 2035. Enhance carbon sequestration. We'll have improved data, mapping, and reporting systems with this. Institutional readiness, feasibility study and design for a national forestry incentive program. Community mobilization, which will build capacity and increase participation nationally, and improve governance.
For all environmentally conscious individuals and groups, CBOs, NGOs, community organizations, universities, come in to do their part to plant trees to assist in the restoration initiative for the country of Belize.
When speed matters, every second counts. Get ahead with ExpressNet. Fast, reliable, ready when you are.
Primera llegada con peligro por parte de Paul. Vemos la repetición. Llegan los linderos del área. La número 7 llegó con todo. Estamos en vivo, en directo a través del canal 53 de Centar. Izquierda viene cámara. El número 7 saca el disparo largo. El disparo de cámara.
Nosotros somos los campeones, estamos listos para National.
Prime Minister John Briceño has called on the United States for increased assistance as violence linked to drug cartels intensifies just across Belize's northern border. During a recent discussion with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Briceño emphasized the importance of enhancing training, intelligence sharing, and updated security equipment to empower local law enforcement. He warned that without sustained international cooperation, criminal organizations could gain a stronger foothold in Belize and the wider region. With the recent assassination of Mexican cartel leader Nemesio Elmento Cervantes, along with reports of additional executions in Quintana Roo, the Belize Defense Force BDF have stepped up its military security operations to prevent spillover into the country. Under the initiative dubbed Operation Northern Fortress, additional soldiers have been deployed to the northern region.
We have communication with our Mexican counterparts, so anything that's happening over the border, we know instantly. We also have an increase in troops in the northern border under Operation Northern Fortress. Just recently, we received vehicles and we received ATVs to bolster our presence and our patrols in the north. Also, there was a building donated at the Corazon Free Zone, which we'll be occupying in the next few days as well. So we are monitoring the situation. We have enough troops to deal with anything that pops up. And if anything big happens, we can reinforce the north with more soldiers. We just had an intake pass out. We're having a new intake coming in this month. So our numbers are increasing, and anything happens, we can bolster that northern area.
I know that some Belizeans may be apprehensive of going over into Mexico at this time, but how real does the BDF consider a threat of any of that spilling over into Belize?
Well, the threat is real. It's real because it's happening in Mexico. So the possibility is there. We have noticed over the past few years that there have been, and you have reported it on the news, that there have been certain cartel-linked violence in the northern part of Belize. That is why we have bolstered our numbers in the north. We have increased our intelligence operations in the north, and we are prepared to deal with anything that might happen in the north. Nothing has happened. We are vigilant, and so far there is no indication that there's any increase in any activity within Belize due to cartel activity in Mexico.
What about getting a handle of the illegal trade in tobacco within the free zone, which is directly linked to cartels?
Well, Belize Defense Force is not law enforcement, right? So we do not deal with law enforcement. We support law enforcement. So if law enforcement decides to deal with anything that's considered illegal, then we are there to support. Like I mentioned, we'll occupy that building in the free zone, and we are there to support law enforcement in whatever they deem that operation they deem that we should do.
Sticking to the topic of cartels, today marked a significant milestone in regional security efforts as Belize's Minister of National Defense and Border Security, Florencia Marin, delivered a compelling address at the inaugural America's Counter Cartel Conference. The event, held in Miami, gathered defense and security leaders from 17 countries across the Caribbean, Central America, and South America, united in their goal to combat transnational organized crime. During the event, a joint security declaration was signed, reaffirming the participating nations' commitment to maintaining peace, sovereignty, and stability throughout the region. Minister Marin, speaking before U.S. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, General Donovan, and other high-ranking delegations, addressed the pressing threats posed by criminal organizations, emphasizing how these networks exploit maritime and land routes to traffic narcotics, weapons, and people.
For Belize, this is not abstract. As a small but strategically located nation, bridging Central America and the Caribbean, we sit along key maritime and overland routes exploited by criminal networks. These networks traffic narcotics, weapons, and human beings. They undermine governance, distort economies, fuel corruption, and erode the safety and confidence of our citizens. Cartels and transnational criminal organizations do not respect our borders. They adapt quickly, leveraging technology, exploiting institutional gaps, and moving seamlessly across jurisdictions. Our response, therefore, must be equally adaptive, coordinated, and resolute. Belize remains firmly committed to a comprehensive security strategy that combines strong border protection, maritime domain awareness, intelligence-led operations, and close interagency collaboration. We are investing in the professionalization of our defense and security forces, strengthening our legal frameworks, and enhancing cooperation with regional and international partners. But no nation, in particular Belize, can confront this threat alone. The Western Hemisphere is interconnected by trade, travel, and shared democratic values. When criminal networks destabilize one country, the effects ripple across us all. That is why partnerships, regional and multilateral, are not optional, they are essential. We must deepen intelligence sharing, improve joint operational capabilities, strengthen financial tracking to disrupt illicit flows, and invest in community resilience to prevent recruitment by criminal organizations. We must ensure that our efforts uphold the rule of law, for it is precisely this principle that criminal enterprises seek to weaken. Colleagues, Belize stands ready to work shoulder to shoulder with our partners to safeguard our region. Together, through unity of purpose and action, we can deny transnational criminal organizations the space they seek to operate and build a more and secure, prosperous hemisphere for all our peoples.
As the conference continues, regional leaders remain committed to strengthening cooperation and adopting innovative strategies to dismantle criminal networks and secure the stability of the Western Hemisphere. The government of Belize today marked another milestone in national development with the official inauguration of the new building of Our Lady of Fatima RC School in the West. The project, implemented by the Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing, MIDH, saw the construction of a modern two-story facility designed to improve the learning environment for students while also strengthening the community's disaster preparedness. The new building features 7 classrooms and bathroom facilities and will serve approximately 211 students attending the school. Prime Minister John Briceño, who attended the inauguration ceremony, highlighted the importance of investing in infrastructure that supports both education and community resilience.
From the beginning, we've been saying that we have to deal with the social issues, and education is a high priority of our government. Education continues to have almost 25% of the budget. And when we can be able to come and build a building of this quality, and a building that can also serve dual purposes, not only as a classroom, but also as a hurricane shelter, it gives you that feeling of accomplishment. It gives you that wonderful feeling to say, after all the stresses and the challenges that you face, that you could come this for an hour or two, doing this, and then looking at the kids, and how they greet you, and they want to hug you, and they want you to sign their shirts or whatever. It then makes me feel that, all the work that we've been doing, is paying off and it's worth it.
Meanwhile, Minister of Infrastructure, Development and Housing, Honorable Julius Espat, emphasized that the project demonstrates the ministry's ongoing efforts to deliver quality infrastructure across the country.
No, it's awesome. It's been a lot of work. The lobbying took some time, but the interministerial cooperation was also positive. These are projects that we have had in mind for quite some time. But as you are aware, once you're in opposition, which I was in 2 terms, the resources just aren't there. Yeah. But it's a promise that we made, and it's a good feeling to know that we have been able to keep our promise.
Could you speak about the specs of the building?
The building is like 7,500 square feet. It is, as you are aware, it's a reinforced concrete structure. It's designed to withstand hurricane winds. It is designed also to be a hurricane shelter. It is designed to accommodate 200 students and also to accommodate 200 people in time of need when the hurricane comes. So it's a dual purpose building. It took about a year to build. The contract was within time, and the quality is of high standard, so we are proud.
With the presentation of Belize's national budget just weeks away, ministries are becoming out to outline priorities and anticipated allocations. One area expected to see an increase is housing, according to Minister Julius Espat. The ministry will be receiving a boost aimed at expanding housing opportunities for low-income Belizeans. A key component of that increase will be an additional $5 million allocated to the ministry's low-income housing program, funding that will go towards the construction of more homes for families in need across the country and to better access in accessible areas.
An extra $2 million was given to us, so wherever we have a house that's in a really in an area that hasn't been developed, we have the ability now. Another budget was done for what you call that road coming off at the airport? The John Smith Road. A $2 million budget was given to be able to do infrastructure there in the housing development that they have. They have a housing development there that the Minister Cordell had done for about, I think, 1,000 lots. And so $2 million was also allocated in the budget for us to be able to go in and do some work there. So for the first time after 5 years of lobbying, complaining, beating, we got $3 million, $5 million more. It's $3 million for the houses and $2 million for infrastructure for the houses.
So with this additional $3 million, is there a set goal of the number of houses you would want to have completed?
Yeah, the houses are running about 60,000, but it depends where it's being built. So right now, after the budget is ready, the first meeting will be between the CEO, myself, the chief, and the housing team led by Marissa to look at what houses have been approved already, meaning recipients that have been approved, because we have a long list. And what we are trying to do is to look at the houses that have lots that have easier access, because all of them have a need. So we know that everybody that has been approved has a need. So now we're looking at, is your house easier for us to reach? And that would be the priority. Apart from emergencies, because we have also been helping people where the houses have been burnt down or somebody that's incapacitated, or there are a couple areas that are not strict.
Yeah.
And so that meeting will be held right after the budget, so I'd say in the ending of this month, and then we have a list of how many we can do. And what the CEO and the chief normally do is that they phase it out, because we don't have enough contractors to be able to do everything at the same time. Remember, these are real low-cost housing, and the contractors are not making a lot of money. So we have to accommodate them and try to find a way. Maybe if it's 2 in an area, they can get a little bit more. But we will have more houses this time, which is a good thing.
Belizeans will get a clearer picture of the government's full spending plan when the national budget is formally presented by Prime Minister John Briceño in the coming weeks. The budget presentation is expected to outline funding priorities across several sectors, including infrastructure, housing, and social development programs. In celebration of Women's Month, the Belize Police Department is shining a spotlight on the vital role women play within the law enforcement and the communities they serve. To mark the occasion, a dedicated symposium was held today to address key issues impacting female officers, such as career advancement, mental health, trauma, and cancer awareness. The event also served as a platform to recognize exemplary female officers whose dedication and service have made a meaningful difference. A total of 22 women from across the Belize district received awards acknowledging their commitment to community safety, leadership, and professionalism. These honorees included both police officers and civilian staff who have demonstrated discipline, community engagement, and significant contributions to reducing crime.
Today, as you know, we have Women's Month. We started with the 1st of March church service. This event here today, the symposium, it will be covering important topics that we as women believe is very important for us for our growth. We have career development, we have about Today, as you know, we have Women's Month. We started with the 1st of March church service. This event here today, the symposium, it will be covering important topics that we as women believe is very important for us for our growth. We have career development, we have about trauma, cancer. These are topics that we do need, and these topics are only not being heard of today. This is just an opportunity to more emphasize these topics, how important they are for our women. We also took this opportunity here to award some of our females. In Belize district alone, we awarded 22 females, and it has to do with community service, the amount of arrests, the years of service, what do they give back, how do they contribute to the enhancement of our police.
Among those celebrated, PC Rosalie Sutherland was named the Eastern Regional Woman Police Officer of the Year, while Ms. Judith Grant was honored as the Civilian of the Year. The recognition extended to other distinguished women, including Inspector Shani Caballero of Precinct 2, Mrs. Yomara Welch from the Anti-Narcotics Unit, and Corporal Stephanie Vasquez from the Criminal Investigation Branch in Hattieville. Additional commendations went to women across different divisions, such as the Prosecution Branch, Tourism Police, and Special Branch, highlighting their unwavering dedication and professionalism. As part of today's Women Month celebration, the Belize Defense Force BDF spotlighted the vital role women play within the military. During the symposium, Brigadier General Anthony Velasquez, the commanding officer of the BDF, delivered an insightful address on the significance of recruiting women into the armed forces. Brigadier General Velasquez highlighted that despite the rigorous training regimens and demanding physical requirements, the inclusion of women is essential for the strength and diversity of the force. He emphasized that women bring unique skills, perspectives, and resilience that greatly enhance the capabilities of the BDF.
Momentous occasion, and we must not take it lightly, right? We must honor our women in security forces especially, because like I mentioned in my speech there, that women bring a divergent type of thinking to leadership, right? So the more ideas we get from diverse perspectives, the better decisions we're better able to make. And women have been an integral part of the Belize Defense Force from its inception to today.
And while over the years, women in the force have suffered abuse, sometimes at the hands of their own peers, Brigadier General Velasquez says this is an issue that is embedded in society, but when it comes to the force, they are making moves to curb the situation.
And just as a part of the society, the Belize Defense Force reflects that. We have had issues, and we may continue to have issues, but I can reassure the people of Belize that the issues are very minimized at this point in time, right? We have adopted the SHARP policy, where we empower women, especially, to report and to have these cases come up. They either report it, they go through the civil police if they wish, or they do an anonymous type of reporting where perpetrators are dealt with at any which way you can think about it. So the policy works. I have seen it firsthand how it works. I've been participating in the administrative process of implementing the SHARP policy, and I can guarantee that today's day that the situation is completely different in the Belize Defense Force for women. I'm not saying that the problem has been eliminated completely, but it's a completely different culture in the Belize Defense Force and how we treat our women.
Women in the force today also count with a daycare system and other special provision for when they are out in the field. And there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
From whiskeys and wines to elegantly crafted cocktails. Paired with charcuterie boards and perfectly seasoned steak bites, and much more. Perfect for celebrations, quiet nights, and every special occasion in between. 7 Notes Wine and Spirits, where every sip hits the right note.
When speed matters, Get ahead with ExpressNet. Fast, reliable, ready when you are.
They got so much things to say right now. They got so much things to say.
The way some people are talking you'd never know, but the most blatant nepotism and fleecing of BTL took place under UDP when Dean Barrow was Prime Minister. Barrow placed his son Anwar on BTL's board in 2009 as soon as he nationalized the company, which would eventually cost Belizeans almost $650 million for shares barely worth $200 million. By 2014, Anwar was appointed executive chairman with extravagant salary and perks. Under him, BTL spent wildly on ventures that did not materialize and never brought any returns. Under the Barrows, BTL's profits plummeted from $38 million in 2009 to $17 million in 2019, and $10 million in 2020, as the company hardly paid dividends to government and people of Belize. Anwar Barrow has no moral authority to talk about BTL, as it was under his nepotistic rule, appointed by his father, that BTL was most blatantly fleeced.
They got so much things to say right now. They got so much things to say.
Finally, a postpaid plan for 3 people. Introducing Smart Trio. Why pay for mobile service alone when you can share and save? Get unlimited national calls, texts, plus 100 gigabytes of shared data. And the best part? It's only $135. That's right, as low as $45 per person. Perfect for small families, couples, or close friends. Smart Trio. 3 lines, 1 smart choice. Sign up now and you could win a Trio getaway to San Pedro for 3. Visit us at www.smart-bz.com for more information or sign up at any showroom today. Smart, bringing people together.
This building that we have gotten, the Welcome Center, is not just walls and it's not just here to beautify the Punta Gorda town and as an extension the Toledo district and Belize, but it's also here to play a main purpose and a role, and that is to continue to promote our tourism sector in Belize. This provides us a platform and a venue for us to be able to do multiple things in working towards enhancing the tourism environment in Toledo and really showcasing it not only to locals but also to our international guests, which are paramount for us to continue to grow this industry.
This project, like others that we're working on throughout the country, was designed and is being delivered by Belizeans. We have spoken to the communities, we've spoken to tourism stakeholders and what needs to be done to ensure that we have the necessary infrastructure to improve the quality of the visitor experience.
On Tuesday, the Belize Defense Force, the BDF, and the Belize Coast Guard formalized a new partnership with Centro Escolar Mexico Junior College, CMJC, through the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding. The agreement was signed by Commander of the BDF, Anthony Velasquez, and Lieutenant Commander Freddie Koo, who represented the Commandant of the Coast Guard. They were joined by Dean of CMJC, Eulalio Torres, and the Chairman of the Board, Humberto Juarez, as the signatories to the agreement. The MOU establishes a collaborative framework aimed at expanding educational opportunities for our members of the security forces. Under the agreement, soldiers, sailors, and officers will have access to further their academic qualifications at the institution. In turn, students at CMJC will be eligible to benefit from scholarships offered by the security forces should they choose to pursue a career in the BDF or Coast Guard.
just recently, a couple of days ago, at the Centro Escolar Mexico Junior College, where we have an MOU we signed with them for a partnership, where the PDF would benefit by getting scholarships from them, and they will benefit by getting the benefit of our experienced people with their young students. And also, it's a recruiting tool for us to bring more people from the northern Belize into the Belize Defense Force, right? So it's a win-win situation, symbiotic relationship. But added to that, we have also been in consultation and talks with UB for similar type of consultation and agreements, where we will have our reserve and officer training corps, where scholarships will be given to Belizeans to attend UB and then after join the Belize Defense Force as officers. We also have a very good relationship with Galen University and through similar initiatives. At the end of the day, within the next 2 years or a little bit more, the Belize Defense Force wants to open its own Belize Military Academy, where we will train our own officers in Belize. And those are all the steps taken towards that end goal.
The Belize Defense Force and the Coast Guard have indicated that they will continue building partnerships with national institutions as part of their broader strategy to close capacity gaps and enhance their ability to deliver on national security responsibilities. Belize participated in Browns Americas 2026 held in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil from March 3rd to the 5th, 2026. Routes Americas is the region's leading air service development event, bringing together senior professionals from airlines, airports, and destination organizations to discuss opportunities for expanding air connectivity. Belize's delegation included the Minister of State for Youth and Sports, Devin Daly, the Director of Tourism, Ivan Tillit, and members of the Aviation Development Committee, Anthony Hunt, Enrique Hoare, and Nicholas Gorwich. The Director of Tourism joined representatives from other Caribbean destinations on a special panel titled Spotlight on the Caribbean Aviation Connectivity. The Belize Tourism Board BTB noted that the panel brought together government leaders and tourism stakeholders to discuss practical and collaborative approaches to improving air connectivity across Caribbean island nations. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Friday, March 6th, here on CTV3 News and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/ctv3belizenews or our YouTube channel at CTV3NewsBZ. From all of us here at CTV3, thank you for watching and listening. Good night. Human.